We've all been waiting to see if the new Matrix movie was going to be amazing or an absolute disaster. There were a lot of people that were very hopeful and excited because they were fans of the other movies and wanted a great continuation of Neo's story. But of course, it's 2021 and entertainment is very hit or miss. I want to talk about the writers revealing the film sought to reclaim the red pill, and I want to talk about the terrible review scores for this film. But before we get into the topic at hand, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon for just $1 a month or supporting via YouTube memberships. All of the links are in the description, and of course, I do really appreciate all of the support. So I wanted to start off with this article. It says The Matrix Resurrections writers reveal film seeks to reclaim the red pill after it was kidnapped by the right wing. Of course, we were all very worried that this movie was going to come out. It was going to have a ton of hidden meanings and narratives thrown into it, and now we've got the writers admitting things like this. It says, according to the Matrix Resurrections writers, one of their many politically motivated goals when approaching the script for the Lana Wachowski's latest entry into the cyberpunk franchise was to reclaim the trope of the red pill after, in their opinions, it was, quote, kidnapped by the right wing, end quote. Scrolling down, it says Heeman, one of the authors, and Mitchell revealed the political lens through which they wrote The Matrix Resurrections during an interview with the AV Club given in promotion of the film's release. This is so disappointing to hear. Of course, it's not very surprising, though. It's not surprising to hear they went into this with hidden motivations and narratives they're only revealing now after the movie's release, so hopefully everyone has already purchased tickets and plans to see it. Maybe they're hoping that people won't actually see this interview. That Resurrections is so much more specific in its aims, and it's a very personal film that touches upon such real-world topics as Cambridge Analytica, persecutors to the metaverse, and social media radicalization. The AV Club staff reporter asked the pair of writers if said topics were things they were talking about when writing the film, to which one of them replied, "We were aware because you bring it into the pit, and all that's happening in the world, so we talked about specific things. Things like the red pill / blue pill trope or meme and how it was kidnapped by the right wing," he explained. The verb to right pill and so on, so one thing we were mindful of is how to reclaim that trope to renew the meaning of red pill and blue pill. We are talking about the internet. On the internet, people can find meaning in anything and run with that meaning. It is a bit of a meme at this point, the red pill and the blue pill. They're never gonna be able to reclaim that. I hope that they realize that. It's like they're saying this thinking it was actually going to change anyone's opinions based on what was in the movie. But of course, that's not going to happen. People are always going to use the comparison. People are always going to use the meme. And that's just kind of the way that it's going to be. One single movie isn't going to change that. He continued, obviously we weren't involved, but the first Matrix was so present in the world while being ahead of its time. So with this movie too, we were deeply embedded in the time, early 2019, but we also were thinking about the future. I had to catch up on them with that, but apparently all of these hidden meanings and all of the things they aim to change aren't really working out for The Matrix Resurrections right now, because on Rotten Tomatoes, the reviewer score is a 69% and the audience score shows a 74%. But, as you can see, Rotten Tomatoes is being a little bit suspicious with this review score because it says over 100 verified ratings, a 74%. They aren't showing all of the ratings here, they are showing the verified ratings. If we go to all audience, the movie is currently sitting at a 56% with over 1,000 ratings. You would think they would want the 56% there because, of course, it shows, all the audience scores together, the 1,000+ ratings, but they don't want to do that because they want to protect this movie and make it seem like more people like it than they actually do. I want to read the all audience reviews, some of them, just because I think it's important to talk about. I think that it's important to show off why people do not like this movie and why it's currently getting pretty bad reviews. And I honestly thought the general plot of this movie sounded really cool. Neo's forgotten trinity and the life he knew, and Morpheus reopens his mind to the Matrix. But of course, the hidden meanings and the narrative behind the movies matter so much, and they didn't try to make it good entertainment. They went into it with specific intentions, like I read. And a lot of people are saying the same thing. I thought it sounded really cool. Unfortunately, it just isn't great. People are saying things like, 1.5 stars. To quote the Grinch, stink, stank, stunk. People giving it a 1, a truly POS. All the reviews in magazines and other publications are paid advertising for the movie, luring you in to pay for the tickets. Many people left the movie theater a half hour in. I stayed until the end and concluded without a doubt that it was the worst Matrix franchise movie I've ever seen. Here is a 2-star. It says, an okay story with bad execution. This continuation doesn't pass the same feeling as the other movies. Keanu seemed to have a difficult time to incorporate Neo. I'm disappointed. A lot of people just saying it's disappointing. There are still some 5 stars, some 4 stars here, but as you can see, most of the positive reviews say that they're verified. People are saying things like, I enjoyed every second of the movie. I decided to watch it in the theater when I have HBO Max. Gonna watch it again tonight. If you like this movie, good for you. I'm definitely not saying people shouldn't try to give this movie a chance and, they shouldn't like it and it's wrong that they like it. But unfortunately, a lot of people dislike it. A lot of people think it's just the acting's poor, the action is poor, it seems low budget, the visual effects aren't great. It kind of seems like it's a waste of 2 hours. People are saying things like, so bad, like watching a Matrix fan fiction. It was too slow, too CG, too self-congratulatory. A 3-star. I enjoyed seeing the world again. The action was good and the story was decent. However, the story was far too complex to squeeze into 2 hours and 27 minutes. It was rushed and confusing at times. There were several sloppy plot holes, but I was entertained, so I will give it 2.5 stars. The story was complex and could have been super interesting if it was given more time to develop in the mind of the viewer. It seems like it just was too short. This is an ongoing theme, like with Marvel's Eternals. If they had made that longer, it could have probably been better because they had so many characters they had to show you for the first time and introduce you to. And then, of course, they wanted to get around to the main story and show flashbacks. And unfortunately, it didn't just come across well, and it seems like Matrix Resurrections didn't either. I was never super excited for this movie, but I was hopeful. I was going to watch it. I was going to give it a shot. I was thinking it might not be perfect, but hey, at least it's a new Matrix movie and maybe it'll be okay. I would have loved for this movie to be good, for it to be successful as well, but the writers are woke, the producers and directors are woke, and the woke media keeps pushing it. And of course, places like Rotten Tomatoes are having to hide the real numbers for this movie because it's just not what people wanted. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. I'm sure we'll see the audience scores continue to go down, but only time will tell. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.